Alrighty guys, today I'm just going to go through the deck that I built that's pretty much already broken this new Genesys format. And it's Rongo Turbo. So the way that you make Rongo through this is using Nash Knight. And look, if only they've printed some new cards that make Nash Knight easy to make. If only. So you've got Lantern. You're not even using Lantern's effect very often. It's more or less just to have 5 in the hand. But essentially all the deck does is it turbos out Rongo. Now I'll show you how that's done. It isn't actually summoning Rongo, you're summoning a different monster that copies Rongo, but we'll get to it. The combo requires 2 things. 1, access to Zexal Field, and 2, access to Nash Knight. If you can get to those 2 things, that's it, you've done the whole combo. So to get to Zexal Field, we have the 3 Zexal Fields, the 3 constructions, 1 terraforming, 3 upstarts, which basically make the deck 37, 3 Planet Pathfinders, which get there, and then also if you end up with too many level 5s in the scenario where, let's say you have YuGiOh, Lantern plus Big Jaws, Buzzsaw, sorry, that's 2 rank 5s if you want them. Well, in that case, let's go ahead and make this here, Dragonic Halberd. If you look over here on the left hand side, it says you can detach one material from this card, add 1 Zexal track from deck to hand. That's going to go fetch your Zexal Field. And that's the whole combo. You just need Zexal Field plus any way to get to Nash Knight. I'll show you how to do the actual thing step by step, but that's basically all you need. You have 7 Tachyon. This 101 here is actually part of the combo, so it's not even extra deck space. The extra deck space is from Stealth Kragan onwards, where I've chosen to put in 2 Stealth Kragans and a Kragan Spawn. Not really sure why, they're just there, space fillers till I figure out what's better. Genesys only got invented a few days ago, I only came up with this last night. Then you have Garura, Malong, and Aggregator for the Ulti-Slayer targets. Because for some reason, Dark Ruler and Ulti-Slayer are both free. That's going to change soon, and Rongo will probably go to 100 soon too when this gets broken. So I highly recommend, if you want to try this, try it sooner rather than later, because as they said, they'll be updating this monthly. They've already thrown out an update that made YuGiOh cost 13. Originally it was free, which was kind of crazy. So be prepared for them to put this to 100 or make this cost something, or maybe make these cost something. Who knows? We'll figure it out. But so far, Shark Engine's completely untouched. So you can run 3 Buzzsaw. Buzzsaw's targets of 1 monster you control special, summons 1 from your deck with the same level of what you targeted, and then Xyz locks you. Oh no, Xyz lock. Lantern does pretty much the same thing, it just specials 1 from hand. But the key factor is that both of these can be treated as a level 4 for a water monster. Crazy. You have a level 5 here that specials itself, and Xyz locks you, you don't care. You have a level 5 that specials itself. You have this that specials itself and searches for any of these, and also can be treated as a 5. Then you have the YuGiOh 5, the Lantern 5. Beautiful is just another normal summon that gets to Buzzsaw, which gets to Lantern, you get the point. Ready Fusion is another 5 with Sea Monster and Theseus, but also turns on a Surfacing Big Jaws that might be in your hand, because that says if you've activated a spell card this turn, you can special summon it. So that's pretty much all of that. Tachyon reveals the 101 here to search for an Aqua, an Aqua level 5 or a Water level 5. Well, Shock Horror, we have an Aqua level 5 right here, and we have Water level 5s right here. It's pretty foolproof. There's a few hands that might lose Select Roll if it's like a really bad hand, but a lot of hands won't. You lose to specifically Imperm on either this here or this here, and you lose to a Nibiru that's like, on Res of Summoning Barrier Hope. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The Sphere Modes and the Lava Golems are both in there because if you're going second, we need a way to play into it, like break boards and stuff. And these are just all extra ways to get to Zexal Field. So you can drop like all 3 of these, 2 of these, and then maybe 1 Buzzsaw and put in all 3 of these. And you don't care about your normal too much, because chances are you'll be able to make a Abyss Shark with all of what you have here. Anyway, we'll get on to the combo, and I'll show you how the line works. Alrighty, so here we've got a standard opening hand where we have pretty much the whole combo. So we already opened Zexal Field. I'll show you other combos that get to it if we need to. But you activate Zexal Field. After activating Zexal Field, we have 2 options here. We can 7 Tachyon to go ahead and add ourselves a Dream Shark or a Crystal Shark, so we have a level 5 for YuGiOh, or we can normal summon Buzzsaw. I think you end up doing both, like either one that works fine for you. I'm going to do normal buzzsaw line here, and then if it gets impermed, for example, because they don't know where to imperm correctly, and they might imperm the buzzsaw target itself, then you have YuGiOh tagging as a backup. But for now, we'll just imagine that we haven't been interrupted, and you can learn how to play around interruption as it goes, and I'll just show you the pretty standard combos. So we're going to summon a lantern. These both can be treated as 5s, so we're going to overlay these two on top of each other, making a Nash Knight. We're going to now trigger the effect of Zexal Field here, targeting our Nash Knight to attach an extra deck monster to it. So we are obviously going to be putting Rhongo underneath. There we go. This says your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to the activation of cards and effects that target an exceeds monster you control. So I don't think many people are going to be playing Ghost Ogre in Genesys format, who's wasting points on it if it's a cost any. But that just means you can't Ghost Ogre this. But anyway, now we just go and slap CXYZ Nash Knight on top of that. Here's the first imperm target, so you go effect to touch. If it gets impermed, then you know that sucks. But a lot of people aren't wasting their points on generic cantrips in this format. They're getting back their band cards or getting engine pieces. If you want to play Rescue Ace, emergency cost 33. So stuff like that. We're going to special summon this Silent on a Dark here. So this is that, and then you just literally put Barriering Hope on top. That's it. Then you go effect. You would tell your opponent that you're targeting the Rhongo in the graveyard, which is this one right here. And that's it. You now have a 5 material, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Rhongomyniad, because the effect of Baron has become Rhongo. It is 6,500 attack, due to the fact that this card gains 1,000 attack for each material attached to it. The effect to copy Rhongo just changes this effect. It still gains this one. So it's 6,500 attack because it has 5,000 attack generically, but then now remember it's also a Rhongo, so it gains 1,500. It can't be destroyed by battle. It's unaffected by opponent's effects. Your opponent cannot normal or special monsters, and once per turn during your turn ignition effect, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls. So the point is you more or less turn skip them so that they can't do anything, and then on your turn when it comes back to you, there's a small window of opportunity they can interact with it. Draw phase, standby phase, and then in response to the activation of the effect in the main phase. You want to activate that barrier instantly, try to get it to resolve to become Rhongo. If they've set a whole bunch of back row and they don't stop the Rhongo, like you copying Rhongo, then just activate, on res, activate Barrier Hope's effective Rhongo here to board wipe. It destroys all cards, not Raigeki. This is a board wipe, so you'll destroy all their back row. Then it's as simple as just normal summoning something. Even if it's YuGiOh, they still have 2 cards in hand. Just normal summon. The smallest guys in our deck, like Buzzsaw, 1,600. Lantern, which is under here, 1,500. Planet Pathfinder is realistically not game, but most other cards are 1,800, 1,600, and 2K and whatnot. Most normal summons are going to push you for game because this is 6,500 on its own. Yeah, that's the standard combo. We'll go into a more complicated hand where we don't open Zexal Field, and I'll show you how to do it from there. Alright, here we have a perfect example of what looks like a bricky hand because we don't have Zexal Field, and we don't have Terraforming, and we don't have Buzzsaw or any of this, but we have that rank 5 I told you about. Now, it's very crucial to know in these situations, can you make multiple rank 5s? Any hand that has YuGiOh plus a 5 can obviously make 1, and any hand that has Big Jaws plus a spell can make 1. Any hand that has just a Buzzsaw can make 1. So technically this hand can actually make 3. But what we'll do is we'll just show it off first. So we'll go declare effect, and we're going to reveal the lantern. Alright? Now we special both of these. Now this one is going to play completely around Draw and Lockbird, which is probably the main hand trap I'm seeing some people trying to use. That's about it. People aren't running Nib, people aren't running Ash, people aren't running Imperm. So we will go effect here, and we will detach, and we will go into our deck and add Zexal Field. There we go. Now if they draw some res, we don't care. We have Buzzsaw. Buzzsaw can make the rank 5. So we'll do the Buzzsaw line here. We'll go Zexal Field. We'll go normal Buzzsaw. Buzzsaw effect. Target itself. Do special. And again, this is all going to be very similar to the way that we did it before. Specialing out Lantern. Overlay these two on top of each other, making a Nash Knight. And it's all pretty much the exact same thing from here. You go to Zexal Field, that's going to stick Rhongo underneath this National Knight, and then you're going to stick this on top of that. You're going to go effect of this, detaching the Rongo, that's the most important part. Special summoning this on top, put this on top of that, and then just go effect, target Rongo. And that is the whole thing. It is just get to this field spell, make a rank 5, and you have the most broken turn skip that the game can probably do in this format anyway. Being able to have Rongo at 31 points, and then that affords you the ability to pay for terraforming and YuGiOh and Pathfinder and stuff like that. Just very silly. But even if they were to put Rongo at 100 points, let's be real. Yes, you'd lose YuGiOh, which is a pretty big factor, but you still have the whole Shark engine, which can still reliably make 5s. It's not as foolproof, but it's still quite a bit silly. Like having Rongo back and this Barragan Hope. What they would need to do they would need to do the same thing that they do with like Elma and stuff like that. Is Rongo would need to be 100, and then just have Barragan Hope be 1, just so that these two can't be in a deck together. Because that is a big problem. But anyways, thanks for listening. I know it's my first YouTube video and it's a bit like messy, I guess you could say. I'm still learning what I'm doing, but I just figured I'd get this one out because Genesys only released in the last few days. I cooked this up last night with help from a couple of mates at my house, theory crafting and testing hands. And when we found this and realized that this is pretty foolproof, I tested it out on Dueling Book this morning and 15 from 15. And I did 50 test hands with a mate, and it was pretty much a 100% record of opening the combo. So test this out before it gets banned, because I assume soon they'll put Rongo at 100 and then Barragan at 1, because these two being allowed to be in the deck together is very silly. Anyway, cheers.